I had it though. Sorry. Okay. He said he's gonna come get on me. Okay. No, I'm not. They should be here. Oops, did y'all hear that? Sorry, those of y'all who couldn't hear me. The mic was to my face, but it wasn't on. Sorry. So for a house, the rental on a house is equal deposit. And if the landlord want to play games with you, they can, because they'll say if your client have a credit score under 600, then they want a double deposit. And so when that happens, you tell your client, okay, the rent, the average house that I'm going to show is 1,500 and up. If the rent is like under 1,500, most of the time when y'all see that lead that comes across from y'all intranet, I'd be like, free lead. It's because the price point usually is really low, $1,000 for a house. I'd be like, ooh, I can't do $1,000 rent house. I said, if I can find you $1,000 rent house, we're gonna have a problem because I don't have a permit for my pistol. And so when they be like, what, and so in case they live in one of those neighborhoods, I be like, most of the time $1,000 house is really small or it's up on bricks. And so if it's up on bricks, it's probably rats under there or possum and stuff. And I'm scared of them because I'm from Michigan. I'm from Detroit, and I'm scared of them things. And so I don't have a permit for my pistol. And so that gets around me saying, because y'all live in the hood, and that $1,000 house is where it's going to be. It's going to be in the hood. The price in real estate is directly related to the neighborhood. If the neighborhood is $1,000, it's usually a neighborhood where you should be packing, or you're really familiar. You know how to walk the walk through that neighborhood, but they're not checking you out, and they're not going to bother you, and so you're good. But when I first got into business, I remember I went on Fondren and West Airport, and it was some condos over there. And when my client and I met there, and we was getting out of the car, I don't know why so many people was home during the day, and they was watching us. And I was like, I don't know about this. I was really like, ooh. And when we got to the unit, the patio door was broken in. I said, I don't think we need to go in. And I haven't showed over at Cattail since. That's over at Fondren and West Airport. And I tell you, to give you an idea of that neighborhood, when I first got into business, I remember the homeowners in the houses subdivision adjacent to that area, they bought the apartment complex. It was right there on that corner, tore it down because the police could not get rid of the crime that was in there. So they tore it down and put a park there. So they were determined to clean out their neighborhood. Now, let's get started on how you can make money doing apartments, doing rentals. I'm sorry. Let's see which ones come up first. I forgot. Okay. All right, y'all see this package right here? I want everybody to find this package right here. All the packages right here, babe. Okay. Open it up. The first thing it says the Omni on Eldridge Parkway. Okay, flip to the next page. No, to the third page. Okay, this page right here. Okay, the first page, then it's a map, and then this page. On this page, you will see parties and events. It says visit apartment leasing office. Would you gonna just visit them just carte blanche? Yes, you could. You could just go to an apartment complex in your area and visit it so you can get an idea of what the apartments look like. Just visit it and see if the people are friendly and why you say, could you take me on a tour? And if they can take you on a tour, then while they're taking you on a tour, you like that person's personality. If they don't rub you the wrong way, because some people don't have personality skills at all. You ever go into the hospital and the nurse should not be there. She don't have no bedside manner. Doctor don't have. There's that person in every industry. So if that person doesn't have personality to work with you, then just tour the property and get the information. But if you like that person, say, hey, you know, how full are y'all? Are y'all 100% full? Then what are you doing with your traffic when they come by? If y'all full, there's the sign out there that says you're still leasing. Well, we send them to our sister property. Well, why don't you send them to me? If you send them to me, I'll take care of them. And then when they lease, I give you a $50 gift card to go shopping on me. You can be making an extra $200 a month easily just sending people to me. You don't have to get your gas or groceries. Let me take care of it and send them to me. It's the law. It's the law. That's how you can do a $50 gift card. Make sure it's not redeemable to cash. As long as they're not realtors, you give them a $50 gift card that's not redeemable to cash. If I say it, you can take it to the bank. Been doing this for 23 years. I thought I said that in my resume when I just started talking. Okay, now, when you, right here, this is apartmentdata.com. This information is apartmentdata.com. The number is 281-759-2200. You go to their website, and when you go to their website, it's free. Did I say that again? It's free to go to apartmentdata.com and to help somebody get an apartment. This is like the MLS for apartments, okay? On MLS for HAR, you have to pay. You have to pay your quarterly dues to HAR to use their service. Or you can go to the customer side, but you're a realtor, you want the realtor side. So this is the only free tool that you're going to use that's going to help you make money, and then it's free. So when you go on their site, once you're on their site, you're going to be able to look up all the parties. There's going to be 5 parties this week. Amley on Eldridge Parkway, they're having one Thursday from 5 to 6:30. Pasta dinner, happy hour, and then they're going to do drawings. I have won a 46-inch TV, another smaller TV, 2 cruises, and lots of money from these parties. So go. It's probably going to be alcoholic, the one on Thursday. Okay. The next one is Brant Rock. They're having one from 11 to 2. Food and drinks and tours. They got drinks and little asterisks by it, so that's kind of early to start drinking, but you don't know. The first one I went to when I first got my license, they had mimosa, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool. Lunch with mimosa. I had never had a mimosa before. And then each one, so Lakeside Place, they flooded, and so they're having a party. And Ascent at City Center, that's right here, close by, 3 to 6. Food and champagne bar and gift cards. So when you see these, and you just check your, I checked this Friday, I think it was, and I said, oh, some new parties. And so I had this layout all ready for you guys, and so I added these because these were newer, and I wanted you guys to be aware. Go to these luncheons, go to these parties, go on the tours, see who is the rock star when you go. Don't bother her then. Just note in your mind, I'm going to go back and see that one. She's a rock star. You know, whenever you go to something, pay attention to the one who got the personality and go back to her, because she's the one who's closing. She's the one that got some get up and go. She's the one with some hustle. Pay attention to the one who's going to make some money for you. And she's going to make some money for you because she is hungry for that money that you're going to bring her. That $50 gift card can add up. I have agents who've gotten $200 to $400 a month from me, from sending me people. And that I did, and I didn't spend any money on advertising. So that is a free way to make money. Oh, no, I take that back. I do get these ladies excited about me another way. I do gift baskets. I have like 6 properties that are mine that I just go to and take them their stuff. And I used to just take, like, you know, your lunch for your kids, the little snack chips and popcorn and Slim Jims and little drinks. Well, I also have started going to Specs and adding little bottles of Kahlua and little bottles of Baileys in there, in with the snacks. And I think they're grabbing them real quick before the managers see that they grabbed them. And so they be like, if I forget to do the Baileys, they said, what happened to the drinks? You didn't put no drinks in it this time. I said, oh, okay, I'll bring it next time. And in the basket costs me like $1 at the dollar store. I get those big like salad bowls from the dollar store. Then they have the gift wrap for big packages at the dollar store. Then, like I said, the Kroger's, those little bags. What is that? Like $5 for the little chips, and then another $3 or $4 for the Slim Jims. People love them Slim Jims. It's amazing. And just put in whatever your creative mind do. Do a healthy basket with Sun Chips and all that stuff. But I don't like that healthy stuff, so I don't never put it in there. But it's your basket. Be creative, make some baskets, and of course the main thing in that basket is lots of my business cards. So that's how you make up a basket. And once you have that person, you take them a gift card, the other people are going to be jealous. So a lot of times when I'm taking that gift card, they'll be like, oh, she brought me a $50 gift card. Well, I take everybody a gift basket. And so if everybody gets something, then they start competing with each other. They start competing to try to see who's going to get that next $50, including the managers who make the most money. You'd be surprised. They job pay them. They, they job pay them. Yeah, their job pays them, but what I'm offering them, as I said, was people they can't help. So you'd be surprised at how many times when somebody will come up to an apartment complex looking for a 3-bedroom, and they could have 300 to 400 units, but they only have 20 3-bedrooms. And so once school has started, a lot of times you're not going to get a 3-bedroom on most properties. They're going to be gone and locked down for 12 months. Young lady who just came in, all the handouts are up here in the front. Okay, and so when somebody go to an apartment complex and they don't have 3 bedrooms or they're full, what is she doing with that traffic? Or there's a lot of people walking around with champagne taste and beer budget. I was looking for a 1-bedroom like at this property right here, and they're looking to spend $700. Not gonna happen. That's the traffic they're gonna bring you. Or their credit score is not acceptable. That's the traffic that the agents will send you. I'm sorry, sometimes I forget that this is not really logical, because just like when the lady who I was trying to help her get a job, at first it wasn't logical to me neither. How is she making any money? Well, as I just told you, this apartment complex is offering your client 1 month free because they flooded and they're empty. They have 16 units occupied out of 196. Okay? So I told her our office can fill that property up, but they only have 3 buildings. They're working on the other one. So the other ones are roped off, but we can build up those 3 buildings, and each one of us should be able to at least get 2. It's in the energy corridors, right there at Dairy Ashford, between Briar Forest and Memorial. You can walk to Schlumberger. It's really considered the energy corridor. It's 196 units, but it's only 16 occupied. So they completely emptied the property out after Harvey, and so they are doing a complete renovation. Just beautiful. And before you ask, I've already going to put it on MLS. So this one's mine. Y'all gonna have to go find y'all something else. But think about it. 150%. The cheapest one is $935. So if you get 3 1-bedrooms or 2 2-bedrooms, I might see a lot of people in here telling me they no longer working their second jobs. Okay, so that's what this for. Yes, ma'am. You go into the event because it's a party. Just like when you see the builders say, come to their party, you go to a party, you go. But when you go to a party, when you go to a networking party, are you only going there for one thing? Okay, it's always about the money. It's always about learning your product. You go to know your product. One thing you cannot do is you cannot close a deal if you don't know the product. You can't sell something if you don't know the product. So that's why you go. So that if you get somebody who say they want the A-Leaf area, Brant Rock is in A-Leaf. Lakeside Place is on Willcrest between Briar Forest and Memorial. You want to know where properties are. When I'm talking to somebody and they tell me where they live, I know where they live. Okay? You want to know where they live so you can get a flavor of where they live. Somebody tell me they live on South Course in the Beltway. That's Beachfront in the Beltway. That's the hood. So when they tell me that, I'll be like, huh, okay. And then they tell me they want to get a 2-bedroom for $1,500. They are elevating. Something has happened. Maybe they were in the hood because they were going to school. They were doing something. Nobody stays down long forever. This is America. Nobody stays down forever. We're going to eventually elevate. So you pay attention. Okay, but you don't mention it. You have it up here so you know what this person needs. And so they want you to appreciate they're getting ready to elevate themselves. And so when they tell you they want a 2-bedroom around $1,500 in the Memorial area, you act accordingly and you send them to nice places. You concentrate on what the people tell you, always. I can't tell you how many people tell me that they stuck with me because I paid attention to what they said. I got a referral last week. The lady and her grandfather are moving to Houston from San Antonio. I sent her to 3 places. She leased and she moved in Saturday. She appreciated the fact that I kept concentrating. She said, well, I could do a second floor. I said, no, you can't. Your grandfather is in his 80s. We're not going to make him do the flight of stairs. I said, you never know when an older person loses their equilibrium. She appreciated that. And every time I sent her a place, I said, they got the one on the first floor for this amount. They got a first month free. They got this. This is the person you go see. And that's how I operate. When I tell somebody to go to a property, I didn't even have to use apartment data because I just directed her like a human GPS. I just said, okay, from that one, this is what you do. You go to this one. And this is who you see. She's waiting on you. That's how you close the deal, too. Because there's people who do apartment locating, and they like, she didn't put my name down. She didn't put my name down. What do I do? How do I get paid? You got to trick people into staying loyal to you without even realizing they're being tricked into it. And I trick all my clients, but they love me. But I trick them into loving me because I tell them, go to this person. This person knows your circumstance. You just go in and request that person. Now, that lady was driving around that day. And so I knew it was a referral from an apartment complex. I knew she's trying to do this, and she's in a hotel, and she said she got the hotel paid up to Saturday. She need to find something by Saturday. So I knew she didn't have no time for me to be sending her list. I had to tell her directly where to go. And I sent her to one place. I said, while you're at that place, I'm going to be looking for a backup place because everybody should have choices. And so the first place, I gave her a name. Said, go there. This is their rent, and this is what their move-in special was. And it's amazing. That apartment had 2 months free. And it was within her budget by $50. It exceeded her budget by $50. And in the second and fourth month was free. And it was only 1 year old. But she went with the property, the third property, because it was more accommodating to her grandfather. And she moved to Houston to be closer to his doctors. And she wanted to make sure while she's working, her grandfather was more comfortable. And the first one I gave her, it had elevators. So the floor level didn't really matter for him getting up and down, but he really wanted to be able to chill on the patio on the first floor and just be on the first floor. So always get, when you're doing your research and you're sending your clients information, you tell them who to request when they go to the apartment, and they'll put your name down. If that person's not there when they go, then they'll say, the other person will be like, how did you know to request that person. And they'll say, my realtor told me to request her. And so that's how they put your name down. Uh, no, no. I have apartments who send me referrals. That's in the basket too. So the person who sent that lady to me, yeah, I had taken him a basket. But it's over 1,000 apartments in Houston. No, I don't take them all baskets. I just start with the phone call. With the phone call, I call every property I send them to, and then I send them in my email to them who I spoke to, what the price quote that they gave. The thing about apartment complexes that y'all don't know if you haven't done them is that the price changed like in airline tickets. If I call this week and get a price quote, it will be a totally different number next week. And so I tell my clients, when are you going? When do you need? And so you get the price quote for that day for the date that they're trying to move. So if I call an apartment today and my clients need to move on December 1st, the price quote that I'm going to get today will be totally different from the price quote that I will get after Thanksgiving. That's really how much the prices change. It's really weird. And then a person who is prepared, who has given their apartment notice and want to move it 30, 60 days out, will get a worse price quote than a person who is leaving a man and need to move tomorrow. An ASAP person will get a better price quote than a prepared person trying to move a month and I don't know how the system works, but it's weird. It will shoot out a different quote for an ASAP person that's better than for a person who's trying to move in 30, 60 days. Okay. So,
I've got a question. How long does
it can take, what did I do with that remote thing? Okay. It could take, with apartments, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks. I got paid from Sky House, right there on West Creek, the new one. I got paid by them in 23 days. And then it can take 90, 60, or it can even take 6 months. But I never give up. Yes. It goes right. Every dollar you make go directly to Keller Williams. Every dollar you make, even once you capped, it still goes to Keller Williams first, and then they cut your money so that they can report to Internal Revenue what you made. Yeah, and so yeah, always going to go directly to Keller Williams. Always make sure they know the tax ID. When you send an invoice, you send the W-9 for KW. With your invoice, every invoice you send them the W-9 that's under resources, under your intranet, under documents, always send your W-9. If you do your invoices under apartment data, then they already have, once you sign up, they have your tax ID of your broker, but it's still due diligence to make sure you send your W-9 with your invoices, always. When you do houses, you have to do your W-9 and agreement between brokers to get paid. With houses, it takes, usually with us, if you're in compliance, you get that check, you can get paid with the same day, unless they had a cutoff, and you'll get the next day, or during, they closing the books. So if they're closing the books, then it could take 5 days for you to get paid. Because, all last week, Mark had the door, don't disturb him, and he wasn't cutting any checks. Okay. All right. So you attend apartment locator parties and network with leasing staff, but by networking, like I said, don't interrupt the party. Let them handle all the guests. Let them be friendly with all the guests, but you watch them. As you sitting there drinking, watch them. See who's friendly and see who's not. See who know their stuff or who keeps saying, going to somebody, hey, she want to know how much this costs. Hey, she want to, that's the person who's new. She don't know anything. Concentrate on the one she keep running to asking questions. When you go to an apartment complex, always lay back, let the leasing agent, let them do their work. You done did your job. You got them there. That's all you want to do. And when you are letting people know you do leases, you let everybody in your database know, because you'll be surprised at how many people don't think anything about getting an apartment and don't put you down, and they say, oh, I just moved to my new apartment, and the room gets silent, doesn't it? Because damn it. And then if you look it up, oh my God, they're in a 2-bedroom and they was paying 150%. Then you're sick and you're mad at your friend. You know, she didn't put me down. But you know, you didn't tell them. Tell them, because people do not think of, I have a lot of people, when I used to work for City Homes, when I came over to Keller Williams, they was like, do you still do apartments? Do you still do leases? Because to them, Keller Williams is, we just do sales. That's all we do. We don't do rentals. You got to let people know you do rentals as well. Okay. I have never advertised on Craigslist. Just me personally, it's my thing. When I think of Craigslist, I think of crooks. So I don't do it. But there are people who do Craigslist and are very successful at it, and that's because they don't have that negative feeling connected to it, but I do. Network with other agents for lease referrals. Okay. I get so many lease referrals from this office. No, you earn the money, baby. You find her an apartment, then she can put you down. Yeah. Always try to earn it, okay? Because if you didn't earn it, then they feel you owe them something. But try to earn it. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, you don't want people just putting you down. You want to earn it. Earn your money. Give them the list like I just stated. Tell them who to request. Find out the prices. And then send the person to it. I'm saying you don't want to find out they got an apartment when you could have helped them find the apartment and put you down. If I'm not being clear, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes. And that's why you use apartment data, so that you can see who does and who doesn't pay. Because I don't work for charity. Matter of fact, I don't send any of my people to Camden because they're not locator friendly. $200? Oh, this one's $250. Hate them. But when you're on Gables, they got Sugarland almost locked down. Don't use them. It's amazing. If you really look, there are a few apartments that are not Gables. And when my clients are driving by, yeah, I called them, they're full. Yeah. If they go and they put my name down, I'll be like, I didn't give you them because they're not locator friendly. You know, they don't work with. I had a client I told that he went down to the office and said no, because I had escorted him and his mama. That he was relocating from another state, and his mom really loved me. You taking such good care of my son. So he wanted me to get paid. He said, I gave them all your information. They're going to pay you. I made sure. Thank you, baby. After I split with Keller Williams, right? Thank you for that $100 so I can. But you have to sometimes look at it like almost like with that kind of thing is gonna, somewhere else is gonna come out even better. So I got that little 200, and then I got 150% somewhere else, or 125% somewhere. And so you just take it all and let it all add up, because guess what? Sometimes that little bitty apartment was the one that made me cap. So I did $15,000 last year in just rentals. That $15,000 helped me way exceed capping. So it's money. When it goes into my bank account just as happy. It doesn't care that it came from a rental or a sale. It's just happy. Money, thank you. So that's, how we want to look at it on that. Okay, we're going to say networking with other agents for lease referrals. Because I teach this class, you do know I get a lot of lease referrals. And so sometimes those lease referrals, they'll be like, they'll say, I got this lease referral. They're looking for this. They want this condo. It's $1,000. And like I said, that's really most landlord lease referrals are 50%. If it's a landlord scenario, on the majority, 95% of the time, it's going to be 50%. Apartments are the only times you're going to have some fluctuation on your commission. But with landlords, on the majority, it's 50%. So if it's $1,000, guess what I'm going to do? That's right. And I will refer it to people like who came to this class, for example. People who liked me in this class. So I will send it to you guys because I don't want a referral fee neither. I do not want a referral fee because I believe in paying it forward. I believe in giving blessings, okay? I know how your money is going to get cut up from a referral lease commission. Sometimes you just have to say, pay it forward and let it go. And so that's how I am. I will pay it forward, don't worry about it. Not that I'm rich. I just don't want to cut your money up like that. I just can't do it. And so you spread the word, and then also be cognizant of the fact of how you come to work. Everybody know me. That lady who's almost 6 feet tall with a big mouth and that Detroit attitude. Yeah. So they all know me. Okay? But they don't know you. So dress for success and let everybody know that you do referrals. Okay? That you do rentals. Okay. Individual homes. Now, this is my sheet. This is how I do an interview on this sheet. When I take property desk, I use this sheet. When I get a call, when I get a referral, I use this sheet. And this was from when I worked at another brokerage. Okay, so the first thing you ask, of course, is their name, their telephone number. You'd be surprised at how many times we're on a phone call and we will forget to ask for the telephone number because they might be calling you from their work number. And so you just assume to take down that number that they're calling you from. Always clarify and ask is what is the number that you can call them back on, because they might be like our office. You call up there, somebody called off from our phones, Karina will be like, I don't know. We got 700 people here. I wouldn't know who called you. So you see what I'm saying? So always get that person's number. And then, like I said, the next thing you ask, where do you live now? That way you get a flavor of where they live. They say they stay with their parents, and they sound like they 60 years old. What's up? Why they staying with their parents? And so, okay, well, you stay with your family. Do you have any rental history? You want to know about what made them go back to staying with their parents. Okay, something happened. They may have had a divorce. Mama got sick. Daddy got sick. They went back for that reason. But you want to find out what it is. And then you want to say, okay, after you, rental history is over here. On the right is rental history. So then you say, okay, what are you looking for? 1, 2, 3 bedroom. See, that's at the top. And then you ask about pets. You want to know about pets. Pets are issued in rentals all over Houston because now all of a sudden people got these. Yeah. And there's a difference between a service animal and a disability animal. Do you know that? So I want to say the disability animal, you know, like you're blind, anxiety attacks and everything, they don't supposed to get pet deposits. Okay? But there's a service. You got to find out the difference. And this just started being a hot button issue like right after Harvey, it really got ridiculous because all these homeowners who had German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, and pit bulls and everything, all of a sudden they had to find places, and they were just like, I'm not paying this pet deposit. And they asking their friend, how can I get around these huge pet deposits? And they say he's a service animal. And then all these doctors are saying it's a service animal. If you look closely at some of them letters, those are not doctors who's so, but that's not our issue. Just have to let them know, okay, I'll check around and see what I can find for you, because some people may still have an issue with the breed. And like this apartment complex, they said no aggressive breeds. And so you got an aggressive breed service animal, it's going to be an issue. I don't think they're going to take it, but I'll check. So the other thing is credit. Most landlords, I already gave you that example, will charge you extra for bad credit. Most luxury apartments want you to have decent credit. And then most apartments, 99% of the apartments in Houston will not take a felony background even if it's 100 years old. Okay? And then you have a little 5% that will work with a felony as long as it was 10 years ago and not harmful to property or person. So if a person did welfare fraud or credit card fraud or did you know if you got somebody to hook you up on an insurance card, that's a felony? It is. I didn't know that. I found out from helping a client. So those things are not harmful to a person, and so most of the times landlords will forgive that and work with that after 10 years. Apartment complexes the same. But anything that's, like I said, with apartment complexes, they don't care. Most of them will say if it's 100 years ago, automatic denial. So that was what I was explaining about asking qualifying questions. I just have my own way of saying that's how you ask those questions, because those questions, if you ask that person, will save you some time, because most people will have champagne taste and say, oh, I don't want this place and everything. And then you get right down to it, you got denied. Why'd you get denied? Oh, well, I got a broken lease. You can't owe another property. You got to pay it off. So that's the other thing. Broken leases and evictions. Most properties will not take a broken lease, and they definitely not going to take an eviction. Difference between an eviction and a broken lease is a broken lease, you knew you couldn't pay the rent, and you left. An eviction, you knew you couldn't pay the rent, and you made them take you to court. They had to put your stuff out on the front porch. They had to lock you out. They had to take you to court. All those fees add up. Big difference. It's the difference between quitting a job and getting fired. You never want to get fired on your resume. Okay. Ask, are you working with an agent? Y'all should always ask that question. Why? Because how many people in here have a relative who does real estate? Or a friend who does real estate? And people will work you. They will work you, not think nothing of it, and then put their relative down. Or when it's time to turn in the paperwork, now they're going to bother their relative, because they didn't want to bother their relative showing them around. So always ask, because people will take advantage. When are you looking to move? April 2019. Don't waste your time. Your time is of value. Do not let somebody tell you they need something way far in the future. You let them know you can't work that far ahead. You do not know the prices. You couldn't know the prices, and you wouldn't know the availability that far in advance. Just say straight up, call me back. You want to move in March? Call me back in January, February, because I can only get availability 30 to 60 days out. Okay, because the apartments are going to require their current tenants to give 60-day notice. Oh, I'm sorry. This information right here, hold on. I think it's in this package. Hold on. You got it? I really don't think y'all need this, but I do know later you're gonna be like, what did she say? And so later, that's how come I make all these copies, is so that what did she say? You can pull it up. I know she said something like that, and you can pull it up. And so you can make your notes and stuff or whatever I say next to the stuff, because I really know it almost like by heart. And so I know. I keep uh no, I keep finding that out, but it's very close. And if you look at it, because what is this, your third time taking the class, right? You've taken this class before. No way. Where you been? I thought she had, because she's been in our office, what, 2 years? Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's how come I just knew. Most everybody who's been here, they first year get come to my class. And so one of the agents who's been here 20-something years told me she was coming to the class, and I haven't seen her most of last week. But she was coming because now she works with a lot of relocation people, and those people are requesting more rentals, and she wanted to be able to service her clients more. And so she was coming in because mostly all she does is sales. And so last year she got a apartment. She got 100% commission and $1,000 gift card. Oh my God, Dilsey, look at this. And so she told me she was coming to the next one. And so so that's how come I know some of our seasoned veteran agents have been taking my class lately, is because they were just giving them to me and giving them to me. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it's like, this is kind of easy. I just took her out one day and I got this. Yeah. And that's the thing, you really don't have to take your clients out. Most of my clients I've never meet. I can do apartments in pajamas at home. A lot of them I do not meet. You have to, of course, meet your clients who do a rent house. But a rent apartments, people want to go on their lunch break. They got GPS. They really don't need me. I do, I escort clients that's new to Houston, because Houston can be overwhelming when you first get here, because when I first got here, it was overwhelming to me. I was just trying to find this shopping center on Westheimer, and I kept pulling into like every other light. Nope, this is not it, because it's so spread out, and you can get lost. And the thing about it, when they're new to Houston, I make sure if I send them a place, I tell them all my other places they didn't pass. Oh, I've already called them. They don't have nothing. You'd be surprised. 300 units, 400 units, they don't have nothing. It's the truth. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. No. Except for Camden and Gables. And like I said, you always want to ask, when does their current lease end? Because like I said, people sometimes just don't have nothing to do, and they will have you showing them places, just looking, and their lease doesn't even expire till next year. Okay. I already told you how to do that first sheet on asking them qualifying questions. You're supposed to tell them always about your information about broker services. You're always supposed to give them that form. That is the form that you always want to give for rent houses. But for rent apartments, you really don't have to give it to them, because it's really just a referral. They look at it as a referral more than as a commission type thing. And so you really don't have to do it. And plus, when you do your paperwork, all you do is the green sheet for apartments. You do not do a dot loop for apartments. You just do a green sheet. And that is on your KW page under technology. You just scroll down and do green sheet for apartments. No, just apartments is the only time you're going to get away with not doing things with Maryland through compliance. That's the only time. Okay? Apartments, You got like an 18-page contract. You got the application. You got the information about broker services. You got the page about the mold. You got, what else you have to turn in? If the house was built before 1978, you got the lead base addendum. You got a whole bunch of paperwork to do for a lease house for 50% commission. So I know you can't be thinking about your fiduciary, thinking about just your pocket. You got to think about your fiduciary duty for your clients. And so, you know, make sure you do the math with your client. That's how I always make sure my clients know. Okay, you know, for an apartment, the deposit is only, what did I just say, 150 and 250. But for a house, the deposit is equal to rent. Every now and then, there is a couple of management companies in Houston that the deposit is $300. And for that management company, they're very strict on credit. But other than that, they're a very good management company, and they pay well, and they pay fast. And so when those come up, whenever I see them, I usually be like, okay, this one's going to be good because the $300 deposit is what's going to make them want to see that house. So if all things equal, why do an equal deposit house? Do a 300 house. And be careful out there. There's a couple of management companies out there now, or like Camden. They only pay us $200 to $500. And so if you can, don't even send it to your client. But you know, those properties, they're marketing to our clients. And so the clients be like, oh, I found this house. Can we go look at it? Okay. Let's go look at it. And you just hope one of the other ones is better. You know, but every now and then, like I say, sometimes we got to take one for the team, take a lower commission, but the client don't know what we're getting paid, and they're going to appreciate the fact that you are looking and showing them places, and they're going to remember that you had this much patience to show them a rental place, that you looked out for their well-being for a rental place. When their lease is about to expire, you follow up with them. You follow up with them with Christmas cards. You follow up with them periodically all the time. Just let them know you're thinking about them. You follow up with them and say, hey, you know anybody else looking to move? You work your client to get as much love as you can that can benefit you. Okay, so that was saying, add them to your database. Everything you do, you want to have a paper trail and of communication with them, because sometimes you have to CYA, like we're having issues right now on purchases, on the wire fraud. That is going crazy out there. So please be very cognizant of giving your client the information on their wire fraud. Send them that form to sign on the wire fraud, and then remind them. One of our agents is going through it right now. Her client sent the wire to fund the money for closing, and it was stolen. Somebody was able to get that money. And so, you know, that's how come when you look on HAR now, you don't see, we cannot mention what title company we prefer. We can't mention anything about the title company. And if you look when it's an option pending, our information is no longer there. But there is a way to find it. You know, you go under property, under the property tab, it's under there. But it's not real obvious for a person who don't know how to look for it. And so hopefully the criminals don't figure out. And I don't think it's available on the consumer side. I think it's just available on the realtor side. So we can see who has that deal, who's going to close on that deal, but the consumers can't see, and hopefully that cuts down on some of it. But when you get close to the closing, when that closing date is coming, call your client, remind your client, hey, the title company is going to be expecting or sending you this information on wiring instructions. Make sure it's coming from the title company. Make sure it's not a new address. Make sure that address hasn't changed. Okay. All right. When touring homes, ask the client for feedback. So this is how I do it. When I send a client a list of, if we're looking at houses, if I send them a bunch of houses, say I send them 30 houses, and I tell them, pick your top 6. Okay? And then they send me the addresses so I can schedule appointments for you and what day we're going to look. So every now and then I'll tell somebody pick their top 6, and every now and then somebody will have comprehension issues. I don't know what's going on, but they mistaken 6 for 12, and they send me back 12 houses. And I will call them back, and I'll be like, I only wanted you to send me 6 houses. You sent me 12. And in looking at these houses, I'm a little confused. I'm confused. Because some of these houses are 3,000 square feet, and some of them are only 1,200 square feet. How can you work with a 1,200 square foot house and a 3,000 square foot house? Some of them was built in 1978, and some of them was brand new. Can you look them over again and pick your top 6 for me? I said, because I don't think a 1,200 square foot house and a 3,000 square foot house can both meet your needs. Oh, girl, those pictures were so pretty. I just wanted to look at it. Yeah, but you got 2 grown kids. And how is 4 of y'all gonna fit in that tiny house? The best thing for relationships is space. So let's pick one of the larger ones. So the kids don't get on your nerve, and so your husband don't get on your nerve. Space is essential. So let's pick some of the larger houses. And that's how you switch it back. They didn't get pissed off at me because I pointed out, they just looked at the pictures, and the pictures were, oh, so beautiful. Yes, but is that going to work for you? Because again, what did I say? People will work your nerve if you let them. And they will waste the whole weekend looking at houses that don't meet their criteria when you can start with houses that meet their criteria first. And that's the same thing for purchasing. When you take somebody out, find out what their criteria are, and that's where you start. Back up. When touring the house, feedback. This is how I make my clients do feedback. I say, okay, let's pretend we're going to the movies. When we pull up, check the curb appeal. Okay, now when we go in here, I want you to rate this house like you're going to the movies. 1 star, we should have stayed in the car. 2 stars, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just okay. 3 stars, almost there. And 4 stars, let's do an application. And if they say it's 4 stars at number 1, okay, then you go ahead and fill out. You brought the application with you, right? Because I send the clients the application, tell them to have it all filled out when we meet, and bring me the pay stubs for the month and their ID. Because most listing agents want proof of income and their social security card and their driver's license. And so I'll tell them to bring that with them. And then I'll let them know that I'm sending that application straight over to the listing agent, and then I'm going to shred it. Marilyn wants us to shred the application. She do not want us to keep possession of our clients' personal information, their social security cards, their social security numbers, their applications with that information. She wants you to shred it, get rid of it, put it in the, we don't have the shredder no more, but we had that, that thing back there and on the other side. It's right by the printers. You put all your papers that you want to shred and you don't have a shredder at home, so you put it in there and they'll shred it for you. It's 2 of them back there on the other side for you to get rid of sensitive documents like that. And so if they think they might get denied, then tell them make 2 applications and leave the address blank. Because at the top of the application is the address. And so I tell them, we'll do another one just in case. We can go to that backup house that's 3 stars. Because maybe 3 stars is not as strict as 4 stars. Because 4 stars might be getting multiple applications, and the multiple applications, somebody else might have a 700 credit score getting transferred here from like another country, or just engineers getting transferred here have great scores a lot of times. Okay. 1 second. Now every now and then, if we get to the first house and the first house is a 4 star, they try to give me a little pushback. Is that still on? Yeah. Hello? Yes. Okay, and they try to give me a little pushback. We're like, why are we going to look at another house if this is 4 stars? Why are we going to look at the other one? But I just want to see it. Okay, we're going to see it. But let me call that agent and let her know I'm going to send the application over so I can let her know our application is coming. So maybe I can find out also if there's another application in the running. Okay, and so if I call that other agent and say, okay, my clients love your house. I just want to touch base with you. We're getting ready to send over the application. I just wanted to check. Do you have any applications running on it right now? Because they have 4 days to change the status in MLS. And they didn't gave us permission to look at it because scheduled it a lot of times through CSS, Centralized Showing Services. And so if I didn't schedule the appointment, they gave me permission. They may be working the application because they can't change the status till they have actually approved that person and collected funds, the deposit. So every now and then, I feel like I have to say a curse word. See, I didn't say the cuss word. See, I am getting good. And I'll be like, you knew I was coming to show this house. It's raining. Made this appointment yesterday. And you didn't call me and say, we're working an application. We're just waiting for the deposit. Thanks. You know, because I might meet that person again. But I got to let them know they wasted my time in a nice, nasty kind of way. Like, really? Thanks. We didn't came all the way over here to see this house. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Let them think about it. You know, that was rude. But on the majority, if you find out that they don't have anything working, then your client is impressed the fact that you're doing that follow-up, trying to get them in, trying to get that application in. So you call and say, hey, I have somebody really excited about your house, and we're sending the application. Everything looks good. And so then you go look at the other house, and then you go send the application after the second house. A lot of times, second house, if the first house was 4 stars, second house is not going to compete. They just had to see it. Let's go look at it then. Absolutely. You only send the application. You don't send the deposit or anything till they approve. If your client is going to be out of pocket or something to give you the deposit, collect the deposit as soon as they give you the application. And the deposit has to be in a money order. The deposit and the first month's rent must be in a money order or cashier's check. It's never in personal checks. Why? Because somebody went before you and messed it up for the rest of us. Writing checks for the rent that bounced, writing deposit checks that bounced. So they have to be cashier's checks and money orders. So that's what I was saying I do. I call the listing agent, let them know my client's excited about it. And then when I am having my clients submit the application, I look at it because you'll be surprised the smarter the person is, the raggedier the application is. Homeowners, they've been homeowners for 20 years. They fill out the application the worst. They will give their names, the personal information, the color of their eyes, date of birth, driver's license, their house, and their current job. Why would they need anything else? Because it's their house, you're renting from them. You need to fill out the whole application, okay? You will be surprised. So always check behind your clients before they give it to you, before they drive off. Check it and say, oh, wait a minute. You need to fill this out. We won't get approved. You won't get approved without a completed application. So please fill out everything, okay? Even if you have to say non-applicable, ENA, fill it out. And again, it's just like what I said, do not keep a copy of the application. If, God forbid, if you leave your computer somewhere, your laptop somewhere, in your car, and it gets stolen, and somebody's information gets hacked, and they figure out the source was your computer, there's no E&O to help you on that. And if they sue you, you are just SOL. So get rid of it. And so upon approval, your client gets the security deposit to the landlord. And as I said, it will be in a money order or cashier's check. hmm Step 4 is missing. Yeah. I don't know where it went, but it's gone. I looked and looked for it, can't find it. I don't know. And that makes me look goofy, doesn't it? Because it jumps to 5. I'm sorry. And y'all are quick. You be surprised. I think it's not on your thing at all. Oh yeah, that can be an issue. The the but you know what, y'all? Don't panic because it's in here. It's on here, step by step, everything you need to do. So don't panic. You know, um, everything step by step is on this page. This is just a little color slide, and I don't know how step 4 disappeared, but it did. So when your client is approved, they must have that deposit, which is, like I said, it equals month's rent, normally within 24 to 48 hours. Okay? So, you know, if they get approved, and it's like, well, I'm not going to be able to get it till I get off work tomorrow. That's reasonable for them to have that grace period. But sometimes your clients are really pushing it. They can barely afford to do this rent house. And so they're going to try to be slick a little bit and say, okay, they get approved on Monday, they're really not going to have the money till Friday. Well, while they're being slick or delaying or whatever, that house can be lost because the listing agent is going to keep showing that house until they get that deposit. Until they get that deposit, there's nothing to hold it. They will keep keep showing it. And so if your clients barely got approved, tell them they need to borrow from their mama, daddy, cousin, somebody, and pay them back on Friday because you really want them to get that house on hold. And so let them know that deposit needs to be done within 48 hours. And that's the other thing, the reason why I like apartments so much better than lease houses is because you don't know where some of these people have their offices at and listing in your backyard, but they're in the Woodlands, they're in Channelview, they're in Pearland, and you need to get that deposit to them. That's usually your fiduciary duty to take that deposit for your clients to that agent. I usually try to get them to do it. Y'all are approved. Their office is off in 1960. You need to get that money out there by 5. You know, it's like, y'all are where? Oh man. Oh, you're not gonna be able to get that to 5. Do y'all have a drop box? They got a drop box. Y'all take it, and then you need to get it to them by 5. They have a drop box. Take it to them. You know. So, okay. Upon approval, the listing agent should complete the lease. Okay? But you'd be surprised how they'll tell you to do it. So if they tell you to do it, don't push back. Say, okay, no problem. So in that, I always, even if they do it, I always tell them they need to rekey the locks. They need to get a maid to professionally clean the house. I think all kind of crazy stuff. I'd be like, oh, for the first 30 days, if anything break, my client shouldn't be responsible for it. Yeah, because you told me to write it. And I'm looking out for my client. So when I write it, I request the moon and more if I can get it. So everything you can possibly ask for on your client, I'll put the 5th day for the rent to be late if they ask me to do it, when they would normally put the 3rd day. Put the 5th. Yeah. Because they should have wrote it up. Yeah. Then, when the lease is ready, either by me or by them, read it, take time to read it to your client, explain it to them. Because one of the biggest problems you're going to have on the lease is if they don't move in on the 1st. Bless you. That is always the biggest problem. If you move in on the 15th with apartments, you're going to pay a proration. But with a house, you pay the full month. And the proration is the next month. So let me break that down one more time. This is when I always lose people with rent houses. Okay, with rent houses. Example, if the rent is $2,000 and they move in on the 15th, that means on the 15th, they're going to pay $2,000. They pay the $2,000 deposit, and on the 15th, they pay the $2,000 first month's rent. So if this was for December 1st, no, we're going to do November 15th, because it's 30 days in November. So 30 days in November, the 15th is half a month. On December 1st is when they would pay the prorate of $1,000. The prorate is the next month. Now, the biggest way to explain it to you is the deposit goes to the landlord and the first month rent goes to us, the listing agent, and you. And unless you're willing to take a break on your money for your client to have the prorate in November and you get paid in December, then that's how the prorate works. Okay? So yeah, you do if you're writing it. But if she's writing it, she'll figure it out. And then you still got to check the math to make sure you break it down to your clients to make sure that they're not screwing they're not messing over your client. Yeah. Yeah, 30 and 15 is half. That's why I did it like that, because it make it easy. Mm-hmm. All right. Then, what I said, I spoke about this a little earlier, you complete the agreement between brokers with lease houses. Okay, you don't do it with apartments, you do it with lease houses, and you submit your W-9. So, if you were doing everything right, what you did is, for leases, if I'm helping a person get a lease, I do it all in one package. I do all the paperwork for me representing the tenant. No application. Maryland do not ever want to see applications. So it's all your paperwork for tenant buyer rep, information about broker services. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, this page, almost second to the back. All the things you need for renting a house. This is my biggest kicker right here. You see this? This right here, this page, this is all you need for renting a house for with your client. And part of the second page. So this is really all the paperwork right here. This is all the paperwork. It's still in this package right here. I'm sorry, y'all. It's this package. This is all the stuff you need for renting a house. Okay? And then this is all the paperwork you need for renting an apartment. Okay? Okay? Do you feel me now? Okay? Do you see why on the majority, what I usually do is 2 rent houses a year, and I may do 15 apartments. Big difference. And like I said, a lot of times it's way more money and way less stress. And so you got that cushion for, oh, we're not closing today? Oh, the inspector came back with all these things wrong, and so my buyer's walking on the option period. Do you know how often that happens now? It's happening a lot. It's happening a lot because a lot of these homeowners are trying to lie about whether water got in their house. Well, no, it didn't flood. It only got that high. That's water in your house. But a lot of these inspectors are being able to determine there was some water penetration in here. I think you better get a mold mediation done because, I mean, you could smell it in the attic, or you could smell it in that back room, or you could smell it in that carpet, or there's something along that. It's puckering. Wonder how did that happen? So with that, a lot of people are starting to say, I don't want to buy a house right now until they really fix these houses. I think I'll do an apartment, or I think I'll do a house. And so when somebody's looking for a house, I mean apartment or a rental, a lot of times they're trying to move quick. And so that money can be quick money in your pocket. Okay, when you send your W-9 and your agreement between brokers, really, this is me. As soon as my client is approved, all right, girl, it's been nice working with you. All right, whatever, you know, girl, guy, whatever. And it's like, okay, when do I get paid? Do y'all pay right after we close? As soon as they bring you the rent, when do KW get theirs? Don't be shy. Can't stand shy real estate agents. Don't be shy. It is your money. Ask for it. You've earned it. Now, when do I get it? Okay? Gary Green, I'm almost positive, takes 2 weeks to pay. Then there's another company that does a lot of A-Leaf. They will pay after your client has turned in the inventory sheet. They'll pay then. I don't know why. That's just their policy. So, but find out, so do not, you know, but just ask and they'll tell you. With us, if it's our listing, if it's our office, as soon as you're out of compliance, so you try to be in compliance as soon as your client's approved. So that way when that check come in, you know you're going to get your money. So as soon as the check come in the mail, or you can tell them, no, you ain't got to mail it, I'll come get it. Sometimes 1960 don't seem so far if you're going to get your money. Okay, so you coordinate with them when you're going to get that money, and you'll be surprised at how accommodating agents are. We're really quite nice to each other. You know, I did a deal. I'm doing a deal right now in Alvin, and the lady was so nice. We met in Pearland, halfway. Can we? She said, "Girl, I'll meet you halfway. Don't worry about it." You know, so we try to work with each other. So it's just what I said, you know, the checks are not personal checks, they're cashier checks. And so if they're trying to move really fast, then both are due. Don't you tell them to do one check to the landlord and one check to the other real estate company if they're listing it. If it's not your listing, it's to whatever real estate company is listing it, is what the rent should be wrote out to. So the deposit is wrote out to the landlord, the rent's made out to the real estate company. Okay, I always do this little extra flavor, but if the listing agent did the contract, then she should also give them the inventory form. But I still always give my clients the inventory sheet. And with the inventory sheet, it will point out for every room everything from doorknobs to wall to whatever. And what I always tell my clients is document how they accepted the property. So for houses, condos. In Texas law, only thing a landlord has to do is clean the place and change the locks. Okay? So if a person been living in an apartment and they are used to the make ready of an apartment, it's not going to be the same make ready of a house. We're working with two different budgets. Apartments can change the carpet out like every 3 years, every 2 years. They can change it out. They got the 300 units paying the rent, so they can do it. Landlords' pockets are not that deep, and so they just have to clean it. Well, clean is relative. You ever clean a house for your mama, or you're doing the house as a kid, and your mom say clean the house, and then she come behind you? It never is clean enough, right? Same thing. Clean is relative. So if it's not clean enough for your tenant, don't go all crazy with them. I have had to check a couple of folks when I was representing the landlord. And it's like, we went in there and the place wasn't clean. And again, I had to have a talk with Jesus and say, baby, you know, the only time a house is going to be perfect when you move into it is new construction. So quit chilling. Quit tripping, rather. Chill. And you're messing into a agreement that's not yours. Their name's not on it. So why are they in it? Get out of this deal. Don't pull yourself in it because you're going to just get in trouble. You know, so she was like, we told the landlord it wasn't clean. And I said, what did he say? She said, well, he said he had a maid clean it. I said, well, he did. I said, because I recommended her. So I know she did. He did because she told me thank you for the job. Well, it wasn't clean. I said, you know what? You said you told the landlord he didn't clean the place. Both you and the tenant told the landlord he didn't clean his place to his face. First meeting. And I said, and he walked away on y'all. I said, you're lucky it wasn't me because you essentially called the man a liar when you just first met him. And I said, and I would have cursed you out. I said, so, you know, if you don't like it, tell your clients they can walk and lose their deposit. Clean is relative. What she should have told her client was take pictures of any imperfections and document it. Don't get pulled into drama. Say the drama for your mama. Don't get pulled into it because people will pull you into drama. Don't let them. That place just has to be clean. And any imperfections, document it, take pictures of it, keep it in a file. When you leave out, you give 30-day notice, say I am returning the place relatively the same as I got it with normal wear and tear, and I want my security deposit for it here. And that's how you tell your clients to handle it. Because they fell in love with that place. Don't be trying to trip and try to get some money. Because really what they're trying to do is see if they can get a break some kind of way on the money because they're mad that they had to pay that amount of security deposit or whatever. They're playing games. Don't get involved into that kind of drama. Just say, well, just take pictures of it, baby. Document, take pictures. Send it to them that's how you accepted it. And then when you move out, take pictures again and say, send your deposit here. Don't get pulled into drama. People will pull you into drama if you let them. Okay, and then the landlord and the listing agent will arrange for the keys. Don't go. Do not go with them. You've done your job. You got them the place. Hey, it was good working with you. Send me some people. You know anybody looking for a place, rent or purchase, send them to me. But don't go for the exchange of keys. Don't go for the walkthrough, none of that. Because they really shouldn't have a walkthrough with even a listing agent because they got their inventory form. They may tell them to go to their office to pick up the keys and the remotes and everything, or tell them the remote's in the kitchen. Here's the keys. After your client moves in, call them, say, hey, you liking your house, touch base with them, and then follow up on getting your money. But like I say, you want to follow up on when you're going to get your money as soon as your clients are approved. See, was that hard? Was that hard? Okay, apartment locating is the same form, but now it's going to be a lot easier, a lot quicker. We start off with the same form. You ask the same questions: name, where they live, what their price point, what they're looking for. And then, can I show y'all how I do apartment data? Okay, hold on. I'm not liking that thing because it keeps making me put my lipstick on. If I can do this. I might need one of y'all to come help me. I want to go to smaller screen. Where are they? I want to lose that. Okay, thank you. All right. You are good. There's not enough leg room over here. That's right. That's right. Are any of you signed up with apartment data? Four of you? Five? We're going to do that right when we leave this class. All right. After this class, I always have people come up to me. Dilsey, I got an apartment! Yay! It's really, really cool. Especially for the people who have young kids. And they have, limited mobility. Oh, wait a minute. Who is that? I felt so privileged that they asked me, out of how many real estate agents? No.
You don't have to advertise, remember?
Oh, under locator agents. Under here. Okay, so when you sign in, they're gonna need your email address, and then they're gonna give you a code, and then you click on locator. All right. The this is so you know about the money. These are all the invoices that I've done. For 2018, I only did up this far. So I'm waiting for this one. 2075, they owe me. No, this one's paid. I'm sorry. They paid. This is the one that paid in 30 days, 46 days. This one's past due. They owe me 500. This one's 1966. They were paying 150%, and it's past due. 102 days. I'm on their ass. It's like, I'm sorry.
She's like Brandy on rice.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, every week, every other day, I'm calling them. It's gotten retarded. I got the district managers involved. It's like, why are y'all advertising y'all going to pay this much money and then y'all haven't paid me? And they got a different system set up, and it's like, you didn't do the system right. So we finally got the system right, whatever. So, well, The system said, once I done this, within 3 business days, I have my money. It might be upstairs, but Mark was locked down uh, for the week because he was doing cutoff and everything. But he still checked every other day for me. And he said, nah, because it's going directly into Keller Williams' bank account. They are the only ones that did that kind of system where you had to do direct deposit into our bank account. And so that really kind of stopped. Everybody else, they send a check. So I was like, y'all, I don't know. So, okay, so you see this one was 50 days for 905, 65 days for 100,015, 115 days, 51 days, 27 days. So this kind of give you a range of the different days. And see, this one, 23 days, 19 days. So it can be quick and it can be.
So whenever they pay the invoice on.
No, I go in there and put it in there. That's how I follow up and stay on top of my money. Bless you. So once the check comes in and is paid, I go into this system, which is easy for me to stay on top of my money. Because with apartments, like I said, you don't need to do anything but the green sheet. So how do you keep up with where the money is? Well,
Bank one or something.
yes. Let me see. Now, wait a minute. The tab's not there. That's what I hate about this stupid thing. I don't know why it doesn't give me the tabs when I'm in here. I'm gonna try escape and hope I don't lose it. So I'm trying to escape out of this and go back into another tab. Okay. All right. And so this is where I went to show y'all. Um, it's not showing me all the stuff for some reason. I don't know why. And it didn't do it last time I was on this computer neither. 11:37 class gonna be over in a minute. Hold on. This is one of the things I want y'all to know. Okay, these are the lists I sent. You're able to send lists and then see it like this. Okay? I'm also able to see that they viewed it or not viewed it. So this is the only person who has viewed the list I sent. Every time they view a list I send them, I get an email. And so I know sometimes somebody just has a crush on me because they still looking at the list. Then they got an apartment 3 months ago. They still click on my list. I'm like, they just thinking about me. Mm-mm. It's just like with MLS now. When you send them a list, you're able to see that they're looking. Looked at your email when last time looked. This will send you an email to tell you that your client looked. Okay, and you wanted me to show you, do a fake one, you said. Let me see how I can do that. And I have to just apologize because all the tabs aren't there. I don't know why. Damn it, I lost it. I lost it.
Go back to the images.
You what?
You have to put it in the
I, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this computer. Damn it. And you know know what? It's gonna give me a problem because you're supposed to log off. If you don't log off, it gets mad at you too. Yeah. Hold on. That's how come I didn't have it up when y'all came in, cause last class it messed me up like this too. See? It really hates it when you do that. Right. It don't even show me where to click on to get in there. Nothing. Yeah. Yes. Because if you don't log out on that red tab, it goes stupid. And that's something they have in their system on purpose. I don't know what their logic is, but it's very frustrating. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, one day, I said I wasn't going to do another Lease class for the rest of the year, but maybe I'll just do a class just I put one in there. Hold on. Okay. The way when you send a client to the apartments and you know your client has got approved, you follow up, hey, did you like the apartments? You get approved, blah blah blah. You know, you have to follow up always. Uh, uh, your clients will think that the apartment's going to call and tell you, but they're not. So when you know your client has gotten approved at an apartment, then um, you get their apartment number. That's all I ever ask them for. Which apartment you go to? And I get their apartment number. Okay? And so once I get their apartment number and their move-in date, then this is my move-in verification right here. Last page. Okay. So when, I'm sorry, I'm going that way. So this is mine. This pamphlet, this set is the last page. See? So this one's mine. You know you want to make one because my name is on this one. You don't want them saying, yes, Dilsey got. So I made another one. Give you an idea of how you can make one to fit your flavor however you want. The main thing you want, what I usually do when I send mine in, I fill in everything but the last 3 lines. Rent, commission, and my name on the application because that's all I need. So I fill out the top, my client's name. I put down, I know they're approved, so I put yes, they are approved. Their apartment number, and then I put down the move-in date. So the move-in date was November 1st. And so I need them to tell me what the rent, commission, and did my clients put my name on it? And that's how I get paid. And so this is your verification. I've had people who taken this class and they'll come back and say, they were supposed to pay me a certain amount of money. I said, how did you come up with that they were supposed to give you that amount? Because it said in apartment data. I said, did you get them to write it down and verify how much they're going to pay you? Well, no. Then no. Okay? You get it verified because they might be paying 100% when you sent them, and then the next month they down to 50% when your client got approved, or when you sent it to your clients, they were paying 100%, but by the time your client finally went there, they may have changed it. Because that changes as well according to occupancy. If they get a lot of notification that people are moving out, say they get 20 move outs, people getting ready for Christmas, I love him, I think I'll move in with my man, you know, those things. Okay, and so they get a lot of notice to move out. So if they get a lot of notice to move out, then they're going to pay you to help fill it, and they'll keep that commission high. But if they don't get a lot of notice to move out, and they only have one vacancy, then the commission rate will go down. It's always supply and demand. Okay. So you verify in writing ASAP. No matter what you have on the back burner or whatever, get in writing how much they're going to pay you. I got it in writing one time. I sent a cop to an apartment complex. I was a human GPS. It was before GPS was GPS. And I was a human GPS, and I directed him, turn here, turn there, turn here, all the way to that apartment. He did not know where that damn apartment was, okay? I directed him to it. When he got there, after he was approved, they found out he was a cop, and they gave him a job. They filled out this, though. Said they're going to pay me 100%. So when I'm calling, where's my money, where's my money, about 2 weeks later, they said, oh, we're not going to pay you because we hired him as a cop. I said, I'm not an employment agency. I didn't send him there for a job. I sent him for an apartment. You should pay me. My broker said, they're not going to pay you. I said, oh, they're going to pay me. I got mine. I called the corporate office, and I sent that form. I said, this is what your people did. Your people filled it out, and I'm going to let everybody know what kind of company y'all are. I got my money. Get your money. If you dotted your I's and crossed your T's, get your money. Just like I'm going to get the money on that one that's 100 days old. I guess mine. Like, you know, come on. And you got to be careful because some of these apartment complexes, they really think, oh, and that was the reason I had wanted y'all to know something. This property that's giving us a dinner and gift cards and everything, well, they think they can dictate how we work. And so they need us right now. That's why they're having this luncheon. But pay attention to how they're going to pay us. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, and this is the second page. The commission rate, CR, you see that down here where it says agent only? Okay, I want you to always pay attention to things like this. It says $250 to 100%, and then they put E for escort. So they're going to pay you 100% if you escort them. Otherwise, they're going to pay you $750 if they do a 12-month lease. So it's for shorter terms. They do everything from, let me see. Mm-hmm. But how dare them dictate that, right? Yeah. And then there's properties that be cognizant of the fact that sometimes they try to be tricky on not paying us. You'll see somewhere it says 750, 12 month. They didn't mention nothing about anything in between. But I'm saying if they only said they would pay at 12 months, so if your client do a 6 month, you worked for free. And there's people like, I'm only gonna do 6 months. Well, I'm saying pay attention when you're looking at, when you send them, it's on your side. Just like what I just printed out, it's on your side before you send it to your client for you to see what you're going to get paid. That's what I'm saying. When you see the commission is $250 just for Camden, skip it. Go to another one. Don't give them that one. Give them something just as good. Just don't give them the Camden. Don't give them the Gables. Why send them to a 250 flat rate property? Why send them to a property that is not going to pay you if your client do a 6 or 9 month lease? There's another property right across the street. Give them that one. There's always a property close by that you can give to your client that is comparable to the property that is trying to not work with us or trying to stick it to us. You know, my baby who came out my womb, I can't tell you why she does things, okay? So don't ask me that. You know, it's their business system. Everybody, they're allowed to do their business system. No, it's not. And it's not letting me in, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but what you send to your client is very similar to that. It won't have none of the commission information and everything. Your clients will be, can anybody, who's on it? Who's on apartment data? But you don't have your computer. Can you open it up for me and I can show you? Oh, okay. Have you sent anybody a list before? No. Okay. Is anybody in here on apartment data and sent a list before? You created? Okay, let me see. Okay, yep, you got a list. Okay. All right. You got one too? Okay. You clicked on list one. You haven't done anything with that list. Okay, make a list. Okay. What I want you to do is click. I'm going to do a quick fake list, and I'm going to just show y'all example. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to just pass. As a matter of fact, if y'all can all come around her and see her computer. Okay, I want you to put map areas right there. Okay, now click on energy corridor. Okay, and over here, okay, scroll down. No, I'm sorry, up. All right, put right here, take the minimum out. Don't pay any attention to that. Okay, and yeah, take that out. And then put maximum 2,000. Okay, now search. Okay, click on about 4 or 5 properties. Just click on a box. All right, y'all. Like DLC, come help me. Y'all better come on back here so y'all can see. Come on. Okay. So you got 4 apartments that you done? Okay. Come back here so y'all can see what she did. I'm loving this. I feel like a real teacher now. Okay. All right. So what she did is I had her click on. Can you go back right quick? Just go back. Okay. What she did is she went in, and what she did was I told her to do the energy corridor, and in a 1 bedroom up to $2,000, and she went under map area to find that. Okay. And the maximum price was $2,000. Okay. Now search. Okay. And so when she searched,
This is after you create a list.
this is creating a list for you. She got 76 properties. Okay? And so she don't have time right now, but what I would have done, for example, I would have called that property. What made me want to call that property? I will have to be careful with that property because that's a property that has that problem. Is 100%, 12 months is in parentheses. So that's showing me if my client do a 6 or 9 months, they're gonna play with my money. They ain't gonna pay me. Okay, so that property is not gonna be on my list. So I would go to something like this one, Alex and Ashford, because they do 50% to 100%, and so anything less than 12 months, they're gonna pay me 50%. So if I get one of those clients, I'll be trying to tell you, you know dang on well, you're not gonna stay there just 6 months. Who packs and unpack in 6 months? You know, and so you have to, you know, come on, you just getting used to the neighborhood at 6 months. So you try to talk them into 12, but if you can't, at least you're gonna get something. Okay, and so you click on properties like that. Okay, don't click on the ones that you, like I said, it says 100%, but only at 12 months. And then, okay, how many you, the Grand on Memorial, they're paying 150%. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, okay.
14 months.
But they're paying something. I know that management company, Greystar, will pay you something. They're locator friendly. Okay, Greystar, Finger, they're locator friendly, so they're gonna pay. They want. Oh wait a minute, no, they're not gonna let the people do less than that. So it doesn't matter. Your client's gonna have to go with that because I think they're giving the clients a move-in special as well, and so they're insisting because they got flooded. So they're insisting that, yeah, so that's exactly right. Okay? All right. All right, young lady, now narrow. Okay, go back up. Okay, go all the way. Now, what you want to do to get the list is view favorites. Okay, so she got, scroll up. I'm sorry, dumb it down. So she got 6 apartments that she clicked on. Okay? So now, what you want to do is email complete list. Okay, you can send.
I wanna check the availability first.
We're not doing that.
Oh, okay.
We are doing a sample of what do they see when they look. Okay, that was the purpose of running back. Okay, so who is that person? Okay, send it to me. Okay, I know you can't. It won't let you. I don't think it'll let you. It'll get a confusion if you send it to you. Send it to me. I'm sorry, Roland Dilsey. I thought everybody knew who out mine. I'm sorry, Roland Dilsey at Gmail. ROLANDDILCIE at Gmail. Okay, send. Okay, it's been sent. It went successfully. Awesome. Now go back. Okay, now you want to go back again. And now you want to go into agent menu. Okay, and now I want to see, excuse me for sitting like this, y'all. List activity. Okay, list sent. And then you're able to view it. You can go in there and you just gave, okay, you should be able to, okay, click on this one, see what happens. It's amazing how you do something every day and then, yes, because it's just secondhand for me, and I rarely look at, go back. What I'm trying to do is get for the smart young man who was saying, what do the clients see? You're going to be able to see what they see. And so what they see, there you go, try that. Okay, click on the list and see if you're able to see.
Right here, last view. You haven't viewed anything.
No, because I'm right here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So otherwise it would have been right here.
But see if you could see it. See what they saw, what they're looking at rather. click on?
But you can because you're
You
not-
can't because
Ah,
you haven't-
gotcha. No, that you should be able to see what they're going to see. That right. You're supposed to be able to see what they're going to see. And what they see, they're able to play with the list. Click on the list. Let me show you something. And view favorites, okay? So when they view it, they see everything except this pink part. Okay? And so they get this. This is their list. Okay? And so what you tell them, I said, go in there and you tell them, play with it. And floor plans and everything, and they're able to click on there. Also, scroll up. What I put in there, right there, would be where I would have typed in there to say, see this person, see that person. And so, okay, so go back. Let me show you how to do it. Okay. Yes, okay, go into view favorites. Okay, right here, scroll up. Okay, click on right here. Is that then you click in there? Okay, go back. Okay, go back out. Go back out. Okay, this is viewing. Okay, this is actually what I wanted. This is what the person that she sends it to, that's what they see. They see the 6 properties. But if when she's creating, so if you go back and create a new list, I'll show you how you go back. Okay, what you want to do is make a new list. Or no, you know what you can do? Okay, this view favorites. They just have to hear. They can't see. I'm sorry. They should have came. Okay. It's not allowing you to put anything in that pink. Okay, go back. I'm sorry. Go back. Go back down. Redisplay favorites. Try that. Or just go back. Just go back and see if it'll just. What I want you guys to be able to see is that you are able to put in the memo section who you spoke to, and that is the key right there. And then when you email the list, okay, you found 76 favorites. Okay, just click on this one. You just started. It's not letting you. That is too weird. Go back down. That is so weird. But when I go in there and when I email complete list, you always email complete list. I write in capital letters right here. I right after the person's name, I put, please read the memo for each apartment. I put that in there right there, and it's totally improper English, totally improper format. It's all in capital letters, but it gets their attention. Please read the memo. And then they can read the other small print that's already there. But I tell them to read that memo, and then I reiterate when I call them, hey, I sent your list. Make sure you read the memo because I gave you some move-in specials and I quote the prices from the person who I spoke with. And so when they go to the apartment, if that person quote them something different than what I quoted them, that's when they really remember me. My agent said that Sally said I could get it for this price. Even if they're a week late sometimes, if they go back to the apartments and they pull that up on their phone and say, this is what I quoted them from a representative of that property, a lot of times they will give it to them. Even if that special has expired. You know, like Macy's sale end on Sunday, okay? They'll sometimes give it to them. Because, why? Because I did the work. And it wasn't just, because a lot of locators, real estate agents, they will send a list without verifying the rates. They'll just say the rates that's on there. And those rates sometimes are rates that haven't been used for a month. So when you do that little extra, that makes them appreciate you more. And then they like, oh, you really did your work. And then they really want you to get paid. They be like, did you get your money? They be calling and checking because you looked out for them. Okay, go back. Let me see.
Because I had one lady.
What's the price point?
She wanted to pay 1500.
For 2? Oh, yeah, you can do that. So what you do is you look under your preferences
But
right
she wanted
here.
me to give her half of my commission. I know. Oh no.
So did you throw her away?
I haven't threw away yet, but I'm about to. Because
We'll find 150%.
No, you don't split your, you don't split, you don't split your commission with anybody but your broker. Okay? You don't split your commission with anybody other than your broker. You doing this for free. You are.
She was a referral, and
let-
she asked me that. That was this weekend, and I sent her some stuff. That lady is food.
Can I say it again? Never split your money with anybody other than your broker. Okay? Okay. If she can afford a $1,500 a month apartment, she don't need none of your money. Then call him back, bitch. I'm sorry. That's how Canadian. I was.
I want to narrow it down. I want to test her on stainless steel.
Sorry, y'all, who's listening online. That slipped. Mhm. Okay, but no, when somebody asks for your commission, the answer is no. The answer is no. And then it's like,
And then
why
I'm gonna
would
tell
you?
my girlfriend, not my friend, but the lady that I grew up with, that she did that to me.
Yeah.
But I wanna talk
Okay.
to her on the phone.
All right. So when you're looking for different things, a lot of times you just kind of know. If the apartments are less than 5 years old, most of them are going to be stainless steel. Okay. But for preferences, anything that you want, they're down this side right here. Okay. Anything that your client might want, especially, is usually right here. So scroll. If you scroll on up, keep on up right here. So here comes the problems right here. So if you're looking for broken leases, it's going to be in the pink. If you're looking for, and I personally rarely do housing and government apartments. Why? Because on the majority they don't pay us, and I don't work for free. Okay, so you'll be able to screen it and look for it. If you get a call and somebody said they got a Section 8 voucher and they're looking for an apartment or housing, I usually tell them your counselor should have given you a list of properties that will take it. And it's like, well, I don't like nothing on there. Well, if you look on here, you'll find them, and you'll see on the majority it say no commission on housing. So those same apartments also take low income people. They will take the low income person and pay you, but if a person has a voucher, money is money, right? They won't pay you. So pay attention to that as well. Anytime, baby. Of course, of course. All right, so, but this is where you look for filters for things that your clients might have that's a little kind of unique. You look for it in the pink area, but if it's just regular dogs and bedrooms and washer and dryer connections or washer and dryers included, you're able to see it in the, scroll down. For what? Yeah, first time rent is not a special, it's just that you want to find out if they take them. There are some apartments that are not really friendly toward first time renters, and then at the same time they'll turn around and say they don't take co-signers. Please don't call me Miss Dilsey. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. You know. Thank you. Yeah. She knew when she said it. She just wanted to be a brat. Okay. So, any other questions, y'all? Absolutely. Now y'all should be able to make some money into that first sale or in between sales. If- Absolutely. Absolutely. So if something falls out, have them rent checks coming in.
It makes sense now.
Absolutely.
Implement it now.
Absolutely. Yeah, don't feel bad about taking anything twice. I've taken peak producers twice, and I'm going to take it again.
I mean,
There are things you're supposed to take over and over until you get it, you know? Because when you first started, you inundated with so much. Yes. And so,
yeah, and I feel
exactly.
like that's how it was when I took this. It was like I didn't know what I was
Right.
drowning.
And so I tried to, what they call it, bring it down. Talk as if the person is the first day, they don't know nothing, they just got dropped from a whatever. Try to concentrate on saying the language that you will understand for doing apartments, you know. So CR, you know, what does that mean? Commission rate. Yeah.
And now it's like I know.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like
Yes.
before I was like, what?
Right. And so each time I teach the class, I try to point out the things that will get you taken because, like I say, a lot of times they think we're balling out of control and making all this money and we're just sitting at home and stuff and, not even coming out to see their property. And so if you just connect with them and call and verify the rates and verify who you spoke with and then tell that person, I'm sending them to you. And because they get paid a commission sometimes on how many people they close or they get bonuses and stuff for but the thing of it is, like I say, if they're full, that's when it comes to you, or the person don't qualify, that's when it comes to you. Or if the price is too high. A lot of times I get referrals because the price is too high. So if the price is too high, what they pull up, they want to get out of the hood and they want to get to a nicer neighborhood, and they pull up and say, "Oh wow, the jump from 700 to 1,500, wow," But you just have to say, "Well, I can still find you something nice." And what I usually tell my referral, I see where your taste is. I will find something close to that within your budget. Because for every budget, there's something nice somewhere.
Now I'm going back in those apartments that I didn't get. It's like, wait, let me go back and call those that I connected with, those leasing agents I connected with.
You don't give them a $50 gift card until they send you a referral, and then that person,
But you have to go let them know.
yeah, with peak producer, they say give the $50 gift card as soon as they send it to you.
No, I sent them gifts though. I went to
Yeah,
Popeyes and I sent
yeah.
them.
And see, I'm trying to that habit, but there are people who are in that habit. They're in there deep. So they're looking for that $50 gift card. They're not looking for no Popeyes. They want the real $50 gift card. That's right. Yes. No, 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 no. As soon as I verified that move in and they said they're going to pay me, I give them that $50 as soon as they get the keys. No, I don't make them wait till I get paid.
Oh, really?
Never.
Okay.
Never. I'm not going to have somebody waiting 30, 60, 90 days. Never.
When you verify them.
As soon as they verify my move in, I got the verification that they're going to pay me, then I send it. So take it to them. Yeah, because you know why? Because if the apartment screw you and God forgive,
That's not right.
and if they don't pay you, it's tax deduction. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But you pay it as soon as your client got the keys. Because that is not going to happen that often where you're going to get screwed. It's not going to happen that often.